just going to record. Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but so it's Vania Valtriani. I'm so
Vania Valtriani.
okay, great.
That's
I'm sorry, I'm
me.
bad with names. I talk to so many people, but you have a near-death experience. You've had mentioned to me, and I've seen on your last podcast. So if you would just like to dive into that, so the viewers could get a feel for your story, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm glad that you give me this opportunity because I want to tell this for more people that I can. I wrote a book about this experience in three languages because I thought more people, more opportunity I have to share with the children of God what Jesus made in my life in 2014.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to hear it.
Okay,
Yeah.
can
So
I start?
yeah, go ahead. Love to
Okay.
hear it.
Okay, I'll try to make a summary.
Okay.
Uh, we arrived in United States almost 1 year. I was working with something that was make me be very, very stressed and eat not health. I think that's why I have the stroke. I was working organizing parties, events, and something very stressful and eating bad and do not take care of me. Well, what happened is that I was in one of these part that I was organizing with my husband, and I felt like if someone was hit my head with a hot knife, that's that's how I can describe for help you to understand the pain that I felt in my brain. Like if someone was hitting with a hot knife and twist in my brain and I vomit and I fell down. So after that I was taken to the hospital and my husband was there with a friend because his English was not so good. We are here almost 1 year, but he was not so fluent in English. So some of our friend was there with us and others stay with our girls. We have three kids, but two girls was with us. The boy was in another country. Okay, so uh, after that, the doctor told to my husband that I had a stroke, that I will take to the surgery, and after some not too much time, the doctor arrived back. And my husband, when he told me all these things, he told me, when he come back soon, I was very worried because I think, wow, a surgery is not so fast. Maybe he's coming back to tell me that she is dying or something. He was very worried about everything. But the doctor told that the surgery did not take so many time because when they opened my brain, he saw two veins blast and a lot of blood in everywhere, especially in the left side. And he told to my husband, well, the damage in her brain for the stroke is like if she had fell down from the second floor and there's nothing we can do, a lot of damage. She is dying. We'll put her in some machines and you call to everybody to say goodbye, bring the kids because she is dying. I think she will have no more than 2 hours. So after that, my husband bring the my two girls and start calling to a lot of people. And well, what happened is that I didn't die. I was in coma for 3 days, and my husband was always he when he told me about this, he was telling me it was the most worth part of his life because he every time he was waiting for someone to tell him that I I already died. He was waiting for me to die and I didn't die. And he was crazy and he said that it was very difficult to him. Every time that the cell phone was calling, he said, oh, now she died or something like this. But he gave me a blessing when I was in the hospital. The doctor told him it doesn't work because only a miracle could bring her back in a normal life. Even that, if she doesn't die, she will have a lot of uh, bad side effect. I don't know how to say this in English. Sorry, because she has her brain too damaged without air or something like this. I don't understand exactly how to explain this in English. Well, what happened is that in the third day, I wake up or I open my eyes, and the first person that I saw was my husband with my youngest daughter, a nurse, and my best friend. All of them were close to me in my bed. And then when I opened my eyes, I started talking to them, and I think they probably. My husband said that he thought I was having uh, delirious or delusion. I don't know how to say this in English, because I was all the time I was telling I was with my dad, I was with Jesus, and my dad died 16 years ago. But I think that the first thing that I start speaking with a lot of difficult, because speaking was very difficult for me, was the first memory that I wake up and called something very interesting that some people say to me, "Oh, you are there in the other side." No, I wasn't there in the other side, because all the memories that I wake up was in the hospital. I saw my dad in the hospital while I was in the surgery. I saw my brain, no, my body, and the doctors and nurse and a lot of people, a lot of, no, I think it was 4 or 5 people. And it was difficult for me to recognize that that person was me. It was a little different. Looks like I was looking for something in 3D. I never looked to me in 3D. I always look to the mirror, and it was a little different what I see in the mirror. I took a time to recognize that scene that I was looking, but I think that the most impressive memory that I have from this is that I wasn't feeling nothing bad. I was not afraid. I was not worried. Like we see in the movies, oh, that's me. Probably I'm dying. What I'm doing here? Those things that we see in the movies. It was totally different. Totally different. I was feeling very well. I was, oh, let me see if I can explain how I was feeling. I think it was some some something that is not new for me. I was feeling something that like it was normal for me. I don't know how to explain this in a different way, especially in English, because I speak Portuguese. Sorry. Uh, but that moment when I saw that scene, the situation, the doctors and the surgery, I saw my dad close to my feet on the table that I was, and it was so good for me to see him there, because he was like, I remember when I was a kid. He was not like when he died with 77 years old from cancer. He was like that man that I remember when I was a little girl. And he never used his mouth, but he spoke to me in my brain, my mind. I don't know how to explain this. He didn't use his mouth. He just called me, but I felt this in my brain, in my mind. He called me. He said, "Daughter, I'm here." And he opened his arm. And if when I think about this today, it's so good. Sorry.
That's okay. It's
So do you know?
yeah.
People people think that the life is only this. It's not, because I saw my dad, and he was like I remember when I was a little girl. He was so beautiful, strong. But do you know, there was something in his face that I never saw here in this life. He had a something like, how can I explain? It was like if he had a face with totally peace, and I don't know how to say in another way. He was in a phase that I never saw him in this earth. And the most interesting thing in this situation was that when he opened his arm, I told him, know that I have to stay here with her. And I show myself, but I say her. I don't know why was different, because for me it looks like I wasn't that the one that I was looking. And if you ask me if I spoke, I cannot tell you, because I think I communicate with him in the same way. Because probably it was only my spirit that was there communicating with my dad. And when people say that we have many sense, I don't know how to say this. We have five sense in this earth.
Mm.
Is sense that you say?
Senses, yeah.
Listen I think that I was feeling that I have 300 sense. I was feeling the whole place. When I look to you, like now, for example, I look to you now, I'm looking straight. I cannot see what is here or here. But in in that place, in that surgery room, I could feel the whole place. I was looking to all the place. Was totally different. I don't know how to explain this in another way. But after I told to my dad, I'll stay here with her, I don't have any other memory about my dad. This is the only memory that I wake up telling to them about my dad. The other memory that I wake up in my mind was totally different from this, and was hard and heavy and difficult. I remember very clear that I was wake up back in my body in the hospital. But I don't think I wake up. I think that I only felt that I was back in my body. But I was feeling very, very horrible, very bad. I was feeling like if a rock was here in my throat. I was feeling a lot of pain, like if my brain was exploding. I was feeling a lot of cold, especially in my feet. And I was feeling that I was paralyzed. And I don't know how, but I was conscious that I was back in my body. And I knew that I was in the hospital. But I was feeling alone. I don't know why or how. I remember that I start praying in my mind, Lord, I am dying alone in a hospital room. I don't know how I knew that I was in the hospital room. Some people ask me about this, but I don't know. I just was conscious that, or aware that I was back in my body, and I was feeling that I was dying. And I start praying to Lord, because I say I'm dying in the hospital alone. So when I start praying, something amazing happened. I felt a powerful presence in my left side of the bed. And I remember that I was trying to, I make a lot of effort to open my eyes and see what was I was feeling, because I was feeling that was someone there. And I remember that I thought, I think Lord send me an angel, or this is the angel that will take me to another side.
Mm.
But do you know, when I looked to his eyes, it was something totally different that I never saw here in this life. I I wrote this in my book, but I wrote this in more than 10 times and I throw away because I want to try to explain to people I was looking. I remember a face. I remember he was very tall and his eyes was like it was flame inside. It was yellow like fire. I don't know how to explain this in another way, but it was 11 years ago. But even now, I remember what I felt when I saw that eyes. It looks like that I was going deep down his eyes, and he spoke with me, with his brain to me, to my mind. And the first thing he told me made me surprised because I say, I am dying, and he's talking about my son. He told me, we are very glad with your son. He's doing a great work. And I said, what is he talking about?
Mm.
And the second thing he told me was, you have a husband that is a very faithful man. And because of this, he will see some miracle in his life. And he took my left hand. I felt his hand, like I was feeling the sheets, the bed. I felt. And then he told me for 3 times the same thing. He told me the same thing 3 times. He said, everything will be all right. And this is something that I tell to me when I have some problem in my life during all these 11 years. After that, I always repeat myself, everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. And, and while he was telling this, I felt that something was coming from him to me, but it was something like if I could feel in my body. And I was feeling like it was like a warm thing surround me, coming from here to me. And while he was telling this, everything will be all right, everything will be all right, I stopped feeling all the pains, my throat, my head, the cold, everything stopped. And then I was surprised because I don't know if he told me something else. I don't have any memory about this, but I was surprised because in that moment when I felt that thing warming me, warm and surround me, I remember that I thought, this is his love for me. This is not an angel. This is my Savior. Because of this love, he died for all of us. Now I understand why he died for all of us. He decided to be our Savior because of this love that I'm feeling. And that kind of love that I felt, and I knew that it was love. I am sure that was love, his love for me, and his love for me surround me. And I stopped feeling everything bad that I was feeling. After this experience, I don't have any other memory about Jesus, but I knew it was Jesus. And I knew that his love make me come back. When I open my eyes and I start speaking to them all these things, I was speaking all in English. My husband started speaking with me in Portuguese, but I could understand nothing he was telling. And then we realized that I could understand or speak Portuguese, my own language. My friend and the nurse start speaking with me in English, and we realized that I could understand Portuguese. I was in the hospital for 40 days in the recovery center, doing many things uh, to 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 do simple things again. Walk normally, feed myself, speak in Portuguese. I had some speech, some psychologists, a lot of professionals that helped me during this 40 days that I was in the hospital. And after 2 weeks, I was understanding and speaking Portuguese again. But I don't know why when I woke up, I only understand and speak English. And I was telling this to them. I saw my dad. I was with Jesus. Jesus brought me back. It was in English. And the surgeon, the doctor that make my surgery, he told me that this is not something very special because he said that he treated another patient that had the same thing that I had, and he was a musician and he couldn't play anything for more than 1 month because he couldn't understand. He couldn't believe that he was a musician. But after that, he started playing and understanding everything that he knows. So the doctor told me that those things happen. But okay, after these 40 days, I come back to home, but during these 40 days in the hospital was a difficult time for me because I was like in a situation that I was up and down because I was praying that I would like to stay with Jesus. I want to be with him, feeling that love. And I say, God, why I'm here? Why I'm back? I want to stay with Jesus, surrounded by his love, that love that I knew. I don't want to stay here. So I was depressed. And then in another week, I was, oh, I'm happy because the Lord gave me another opportunity. My husband, my daughters, my son, they are all happy because I'm here. And they were doing a lot of things to help me. I have a channel, a YouTube channel, telling all this thing with everybody that live this. And they are telling, and we are showing in my channel they helping me in the physiotherapy, my daughter feeding me, and they helping me. And I can guarantee that i I survive and I live and I left that depression because of their love, my family love. I focus on them and I realized that I was feeling much better. And then after that, I start thinking, why Jesus showed me his love. And I think that is to help people. In my YouTube channel, in my book, I always telling to everybody that our world is this way because we don't have love. People don't know how to love anymore. That's why we are having a lot of trouble in family, society, and wars and war, a lot of bad things. And because Jesus gave me the opportunity to stay here, I stopped my work. I sell my business here. I had a business with doing the events, weddings and graduations party, a lot of events. I sold that. And my mission now is trying to help people
Mhm.
to believe in Jesus. That's why I'm so glad that you gave me this opportunity, Corey. I'm so glad that you gave me this opportunity
Well, it's my
because
pleasure.
everybody have to know this.
Totally agree. That's my pleasure. It's an honor for me to speak to you, honestly. So I appreciate you taking the time to do it. Yeah, I wished I could feel that love. I guess I kind of did for like I would say if you can say less than a second, if there's a such thing as that time. I don't know how people like yourself, and I've introduced or interviewed other near-death experience people that have met Jesus Christ that have spent much more time with him. I felt just a fraction of that time with him, and it changed my life completely. That's a whole different story, but I'm very much the same as you. I want everybody else to know the love of Christ from what I
And I'm
experienced.
glad to listen you telling me. That's why you have your channel. Yes, you are doing great, doing
Yeah.
something to help people to understand that Jesus is not a legend. He lived in this earth. He is real. He's the only way. He is the only one. People has a lot of religion, but Savior is only one. We don't have a lot of Savior, only Jesus.
Mhm.
He is the way, the only one. And now I'm trying to understand and trying to learn to love that way that I saw, that way that I felt. I'm trying to love my husband, my daughters, my granddaughters, my friends, my mom, my brothers. I'm trying to love people, serving them. I'm trying to helping them. And this is my mission. I don't want to do anything else.
Me too. I work at a homeless shelter casually. So I see those people, they're struggling, but I look at them like with that love, or at least I try to. And I'm going to be a correctional officer too, so I'm hoping to see, that side of society with the Jesus goggles is what I call it. So it's tough, but it's my mission in life. So I love hearing stories like yours that, you've actually
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. And I try to love my family too. I have four kids, well, two stepdaughters and two sons, and
Oh,
I have a big family, so I try to show that love too. And it's important for me to to at least introduce people to the love of Christ as best I can, right? So it's an honor for me to speak to people like you. I've spoken to other people, and they all basically say exactly what you just said. Not all. There's some people I've spoken to that said very much different than what you've had to say, but these people had the hellish side of near death. If you understand what that means, like
uh-huh.
they went to the other spot. So their stories are scary, but they also show the love of Christ in that, right? So you said you have a book. Is there a title for your book in case anybody would like to go purchase it?
For sure. In Amazon, you can find the book. The name is Jesus and Me. Why I put this name? Because I start in the book the first time that, and then I'm trying to explain to people how Jesus was always present in my life, even when I go far from here in my teenager time and the period of time that we are a little, I don't know, I don't know how to say this in English, but then I tell to people in the book how was my experience, and I'm telling with very details about how I felt this kind of love that I never knew, and how this changed my life. My mom, she is the person that knows me more in this life. And she say, well, my daughter already died that day. You are another person and I like you. You are much better.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I'm so glad because Jesus changed me. So after that, I realized that we are living in a world that a lot of women are struggling a lot, and they forgot they can have Jesus to help them. So uh, 9 months ago, I wake up 4:11 a.m. and I go to my bed, to my table, and I wrote 8 page, and it was my new book, only for women. The name is Aware, Woman's Aware, and I'm telling to all the women in Portuguese and in English about how they can create a relationship with Jesus and transform their life to be better in many situations. And this was the second that I thought, I think Jesus is inspiring me 4 a.m. I wrote each page with the pen, and my fingers was pain when I stopped, and I say, "Oh, okay, God, I got it, Jesus. This is a new book for my sisters. Okay, I got it." And this is the new one that is selling like 2 months ago. I start selling them. But the first one is the main one. They're telling about my near death experience with Jesus.
Well, that's astonishing. I'm going to run out of time here because I only have about 3 minutes.
Yes, I
But
understand.
I'm sorry about that, but I'd love to be able to talk to you again another time whenever you get a chance, no pressure. But
For sure.
I do want to thank you for taking the time tonight. I'm not sure you said it's around 6:30 there. So it's nice of you to take some of your time out of your evening to offer the story of the Ev so other people can listen to it. And I'll post it on YouTube within the next day or so. And
Okay.
hopefully a lot of people will see that and maybe they'll start getting interested in coming, to a relationship with Christ.
Okay, for sure. If we are trying to help people to come back and close to Jesus, you can count on me. I'll be here.
Awesome. And so will I. So that's great. And feel free to message me anytime.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you,
You're,
Corey.
you're welcome. And God bless you. And we'll talk again.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Have a great night. Bye.